no way I can explain it to a 4-year-old. So one day, this little kid's like, Mr. Tippett, come here, I have a question. Why is the sky blue? Oh, because as light enters the atmosphere, it gets refracted through gases, primarily nitrogen and argon, then through a process known as Rayleigh scattering. The blue light gets sent out in all directions while their wavelengths pass through largely. You're 4 years old, you know any of these words mean. Magic. I don't know, whatever. The sky's blue because of magic. I'm a wizard, just stay in school, you figure it out. Don't think too much about it. It's blue, just don't worry. That's how religion got started, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that. People just real frustrated trying to explain things to 4-year-olds, and it's like, guy in the sky, whatever, leave me alone. Yeah, little kids are weird. But I don't teach anymore. Now I do this, and I'm also a writer. So I'm home pretty much all the time. And I live in what is basically a retirement community. Not like, but in practicality, like on either side of me are 100-year-old men who, bless them, are hanging on. Just real. So I've been there for 5 years now, and I thought I would have new neighbors by now. Perfectly honest with you. But when I was teaching, I was gone every day, and they would see my car leave, and it would come back, and they know I went to work. Now I work from home most of the time, so they see my car in the driveway constantly. So if I go out to get the mail in my pajamas at 3 in the afternoon, they're like, oh, not working today? No, yeah, I just remember, I explained my job to you. I write for a tech website. We do like a lot of, internet culture, technology news. Is right. I think there's a big pushback because Facebook has a new app and a lot of the restrictions on it. People are upset because you're 100 years old. You know what any of these words mean? Magic. I'm a wizard. I just write magic all day. We're just stay in school. I don't know. I like my neighbor, one of them, and then the other one will stand in his backyard while I'm cutting my grass and just watch me. He's shirtless, I should have mentioned this. He stands shirtless in his yard and watches me cut my grass. And I'm like, do you need anything? He's like, no, just keep going. Nope, I'm taking a break. Eddie, the grass does not need to get cut that badly right now. I'm gonna go inside and take a nap and board up all my windows. But the other guy, he's real old. And like kind of sickly, and I always feel bad because he treats me like I'm a child. Like there's a good 100 years between us, age-wise. I'm 31, but if he sees me like mowing the lawn, he looks at me like I'm doing it wrong, and he's gonna tell my parents when they get home. I'm like, that's insulting. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm like, but it's, to be fair, like I get mad he treats me like a child. I don't think he's really 100, but like he's older than 50, so he's 100. Right? Anytime I see him mowing the lawn, I'm like, should you be outside right now? Like, it's pretty warm. Do you have to go inside to get, do you want a lemonade? Like, is there anything I can do? He's fine. Like, he's still, I saw him today. He does more yard work than I do. I feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to go cut the grass. I'm tired. And then I see a 100-year-old man with like the tracheotomy thing just like plugging along. I'm like, I can do this. I can do it. And then I get tired halfway and I take a nap on the hammock and he just stares at me judgmentally. That's my life. My wife and I, when we bought that house, I grew up in Lopakon, New Jersey. Yeah. We bought a house in a different part of Lopakon, New Jersey. So when I moved there, it was just like a different neighborhood. I didn't know anybody. So I thought like, oh, we have a house now. I'm an adult. I'll go do a grown-up thing. So I put on a nice suit and I went around door to door and introduced myself to all of my neighbors. I said, hello, I'm Glenn Tickle. And then they laughed. I said, yes, really. And then I just explained like, well, my wife and I bought this house. We live here now. Just wanted you to know that. Bye. And then I did this in a couple of houses. I'm like, everybody's being real weird when I do this. And after like 2 or 3 houses, I realized, all right, this isn't a thing that grown-ups do. This is a thing that sex offenders do. They have to. There's laws. All of my neighbors are just waiting for the second half of that conversation. Where I was like, yeah, that's it. They just think I chickened out and went home. They're just waiting for like my parole officer to come by one day. I'm not a nice boy. My wife and I have a daughter now. I don't teach other people's kids. I have one of my own, little baby girl. She's adorable. The thing about when my daughter was born is that I fainted. And it's not that funny. You know.
It's hilarious.
It happens, right? It happens, it's common. Lots of guys faint when their children are born. At least that's what the doctor told me so I wouldn't feel bad about it at the hospital. But I like, childbirth is gross. I don't know if you guys know this. You should. It's a nightmare. But I didn't faint at like a gross part. I fainted immediately as soon as we got to the hospital room. We check in and they hook my wife up to the baby machine or whatever. I don't know how it works. And I'm like, Doc, is everything gonna be okay? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. Oh, okay, good. And I'm out. Here's the thing about that joke, guys. Like, I know as a professional, that joke is funnier if when I say, and I'm out, I fall down on the ground. I can't. I fainted at the hospital. I hit my back. And I had to get rushed to the emergency room where I was given pain medicine before my wife, who was giving birth to a human child, got pain medicine. Because I'm the hardest of cores. That's an embarrassing story. The only reason I tell it on stage is because I cannot talk about it at home. My wife doesn't want to hear about the boo I got when I fell down because I don't know how to handle stress like an adult. Like, I get no sympathy from that woman. She turned 9 months, spent 9 months turning food into a person. Like, she doesn't want to hear about my boo-boo. Just shut up. Just go tell drunk strangers that story. I'm sick of hearing it. I had to do a follow-up visit after that, and I went to the doctor and like, you know, Glenn, when you stand, you keep one foot pointed out at a pretty extreme angle. You keep one shoulder higher than the other. I'm like, so Doc, are you telling me my diagnosis is swagger? Because that doesn't even sound like that big of a deal. I don't know if you know this. That's a prized commodity in the rap community. It's really going to help my street cred. This is fantastic news, Doc. Turns out it's ankylosing spondylitis. It's a fairly serious autoimmune disease. No, damn it! They laughed so hard at you. I thought I could throw the spondylitis joke in there. I'm fine. It'll be all right. I just stand funny when I do jokes about it. I feel like when I found that out, I felt like I was doing it like on purpose. I felt like I would forget and just stand normal. And when I do that joke, people are like, I don't understand. But it's just how I stand now. Man, I really brought the room down with that autoimmune disease. Let's have another benefit immediately after this one. Everybody give me $20 and we'll fight that disease too. I always feel weird, like as a comedian, we do a lot of benefits like this, and it's always great, but when people ask, they ask weird. Like Mel's like, hey, do you want to help benefit cystic fibrosis? Like, no. That's my least favorite fibrosis. I don't want to support that disease at all. That's a terrible disease. You're on the wrong side of that fight, Mel. No. We're raising money for the cure for it. I'm like, oh, we'll lead with that. I thought you were a supervillain for like 2 minutes. This is part of my plan, and we're gonna raise money. We're gonna threaten the world. And then you show up in a white suit, again, like a supervillain. I have one too. I meant it when I said it's a very nice suit. I do like being a parent, it's pretty great. It's also a horrible nightmare, like other parents here besides mine. Right, you guys have kids? It's a weird chuckle. I don't know if that's a yes. I do, but they're not. I just found some. There were just some kids, and now they're my kids. But I do. It's great. This is a true story. So my daughter, 4 months old, I get woken up in the middle of the night by the sound of my daughter crying and the sound of my wife pretending to be asleep. So I get up to check on the baby, and I go into the room, and I look in her crib, and I look down at my little sweet baby face. It's covered in blood. Just soaked in it, like a Viking warrior ready for battle. Just like a horror nightmare, Steve. I'm like, nope, and I freaked out immediately, because that's what you do. And then I remembered, like, oh, wait, no. I'm not supposed to panic at this. Because a few days before, she had to have a tongue tie corrected. I don't know if you guys know what that is. From the thing that connects your tongue to the bottom of your mouth. It's called the lingual frenulum. I'm not going to talk down to you people. You seem like a smart. The thing that connects your tongue to the bottom of your mouth is the lingual frenulum. Now you know. If you didn't know before, you learned something, you're welcome. So hers stuck out too far. She couldn't like stick her tongue out. It was causing problems. So they had to have it snipped. So like we brought her into the doctors and they did it. Like it was I say surgery, but like it was done. Like you could do it. Don't just go around snipping lingual frenulums. But you could, like in an emergency situation. I feel confident if you had a pair of scissors. So the doctor did it, and he's like, I just want you to know, over the next couple of days, there might be some bloody saliva. Thanks for the heads up. It's exactly the kind of thing I'm going to forget it for in the morning and immediately start panicking. So I remembered, and I'm like, all right, so back in my baby's room, I calmed down. She's still got a little baby blood face. And I'm like, oh, that's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. So I look down at the crib, I'm calm, she's still upset. So I pick her up. As soon as I get her up out of the crib, she stops crying. Then she starts laughing. Like, nope, that's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's some nightmare shit, baby. If there's blood all over your face, you should cry. That's the right, you had it right the first time. I want everyone in this room right now, picture yourself holding a bloody infant that's laughing in your face. No one's gonna sleep tonight. We're all gonna be up until 4 in the morning crying under the covers, because that's what I did. She's fine now. It's like she can stick her tongue out like a champ. And does at me frequently, like when I ask her to do things. No. I didn't have my snipped. I can't stick my tongue out all the way. He could do it. I do. The thing about that joke is like, I don't think my daughter is going to grow up to be a serial killer, but if she does, at some point, like a police officer, a reporter, somebody's going to interview me and they'll be like, Mr. Tickle, at any point, did you think maybe there was something wrong with your cop? I have to legally be like, yep. Her face was covered in blood. She thought it was the funniest thing that ever happened to her. I should have called you guys immediately. Some of those bodies are entirely my fault there. I say I don't think she's going to be a serial killer. Now I'm not entirely sure. Because she's invented a new game for herself that she likes to do at bath time. What she likes to do is she has this little penguin toy she brings in the bath with her. And what she does is she'll go, she splash and plays, gets clean, and then she grabs the penguin toy, grabs her around its little penguin neck, dunks its face in the water, and then she kicks her legs, which I'm assuming is to simulate a struggle. She does that for a little bit, and then she just goes perfectly still. And looks up at you. She's starting to talk now. I'm just waiting for the day she does that and goes, you're next. I'm afraid of my daughter. That's the real reason I'm here. That's like, I have to work and you watch the baby. Nope, I gotta go fight diseases, sorry. The thing is, like, if we don't cure this disease tonight, my wife is going to be mad at me. She's like, you said you were gonna go do the thing. So we gotta try it. Like, I'm not letting anyone leave this room until this young woman is cured. Strap and get that test tube, Mel. Let's get to work. I was a preschool science teacher. I'm fully qualified for this application. But I actually did. I really liked teaching preschool science because I was a nerdy kid and am a nerdy adult.
Yep.
And yup, thanks, guy. Who looks like a poor extra from Mad Men, but that's fine. It's the Brill cream that's doing it. Oh, I'm making fun of that man for no reason with my own stupid brother. I make the Mad Men all the time. I'm sorry, sir. I actually really like the way that your hair is. It looks very nice.
You want to touch it? Yeah, okay.
I don't.
Okay.
That's a bit of a weird request. Keith, touch his hair.
I didn't make the request.
Keith, go touch that guy's hair.
Touch my hair.
Tell me what it feels like.
Keith thought that was
Is it nice? Keith.
It does look really nice. Stay seated. It does look
What if
really
the
nice.
cure's in that guy's hair? But I do, like, I like science stuff, so it was exciting that I got to pretend like I knew what I was talking about. Because science is great. And one thing, is that, like, doing comedy, like, it's, all these jokes are things like I thought of, so I test them out in front of different audiences. But sometimes it's hard to see, like, how the reaction is gauged. So sometimes, like, comedians do competitions, and they're judged with, like, those sound meter things. And I was doing one recently, and the guy had an app on his phone, and that was the way they judged the contest. So I didn't win, so I'm like, well, that app clearly doesn't work. So I got it on my phone, and I'm running tests on it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do 2 jokes, that usually get like the same level of reaction in response to one another. Like one, very funny, gets a great reaction. The other one, just as funny, but you guys don't understand it and it hurts my feelings every time. I'm not going to tell you which one's which. I'm just going to do 2 jokes and you have to decide. I want to see which one gets the better response on this obviously broken sound meter. Alright, so first I just need everyone to be quiet for a second. We'll get like a feel of the room. Alright, so quiet is like 60. I'm assuming it's all the fan. Alright, so first joke. I had a dream last night I was getting attacked by a bear. Don't worry, I'm fine. 75. Again, I'm not telling you which one is the one that gets the great reaction. I'm just gonna do 2. You have to decide for yourselves. Second joke. My wife and I adopted a dog recently. We've been trying to have one naturally for about a year. Alright, so like 85. So. Seriously though, nothing on that bear joke still. I've been doing that dumb thing for 5 years. No one likes that bear joke. I'm gonna do it on time, man. I forgot to look when I started. Alright, we'll go out on this, because you guys generally seem to enjoy me, which is nice of you. Thank you for that.
He paid us.
No, you paid him. That's how this works. So, I like to do this joke because Ryan, who you're going to see in a minute, makes fun of me every time I do it. Because I'm about to lie to you and say it happened recently. It happened years ago. I got heckled recently, which I'm sure you guys all find hard to believe because I'm so great at this. But I got heckled. I was doing a show at Music Fest. There's a big room, hundreds of people at this show. I went up, was doing jokes for like 10 minutes. This guy kept calling stuff out. I yelled at him and told him to be quiet. I think I handled it well. Got off stage, and I look at my phone, and I've got like 20 updates on Facebook. I'm like, oh, what's that all about? It's that guy. The guy who was heckling me during the show found me on Facebook to continue to heckle me after I left the show, so I'm no longer a part of it. He's like, fuck that guy. But here's like, if you're a heckler, you're a jerk. Especially like here, because there's so few people. It's brightly light. I can see all of your faces. Don't be mean. Keith. I can't believe you made me yell at that guy.
He deserves it.
Right, but if you're in like a huge room and you're just calling stuff out, you're a faceless voice. Like I yell at you when I leave, and that's the end of it. This guy found me on Facebook. He's not a faceless voice. He's Mel Huff. Or Dan Huff. Mel Huff is my brother's girlfriend. No relation, by the way. I asked her immediately following this incident. He's Dan Huff from Hazelden, Pennsylvania. I know everything about you, Dan. I know where you live. I know who your family is. I've seen pictures of your kids. You're the worst heckler. Because now we're Facebook friends, and what I like to do... Yeah, he accepted my request for some reason. What I like to do is audience, like you guys seem to like me more than he did. So I film audiences screaming, "Screw you, Dan Huff, we love Glenn Tickle," and then I send them to him on Facebook so that like a couple times a week he gets reminded of what a piece of garbage he is. And like I said, this happened years ago. I had literally hours of this shit.
I don't think he understands Facebook.
What?
So I don't think he understands Facebook.
I don't think you understand that you're not supposed to call things out on your brother's comedy show.
He is not.
You made my camera break. It was working, and then I yelled at you, and then it didn't work. History's greatest monster. Keith.
Don't yell at your brother.
That's not the lesson of this at all. All right. So on the count of 3, I want everybody to scream, "Screw you." You know what?
Does it
Let's
have
mix
to
it
be
up.
screw you?
You know, I'll let you ad-lib it.
Okay.
But we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna say, "Screw you, Keith Tickle. Don't yell at your brother's comedy show." So on the count of 3, and because we're already Facebook friends, I'm gonna send it to Keith, and he will forever be reminded of this.
Wait, what are we saying?
Screw you, Keith Tickle. Don't scream things at your brother's comedy. Just yell at Keith Tickle. I don't really care what you say. Ready? 1, 2.
Screw you!
That's usually a little better coordinated. But thank you very much, everybody. I'm Glenn Tickle.
Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. That was like way better than I expected.
No, it didn't work.
I thought I was getting a party comedian.
You notice I knew you were talking the right way.
Okay,
I knew you were talking the right way.
before I bring up my next guy, I want to tell you a couple things. First off, I have a mom. She's like a bank, only takes deposits. You know, she left home when I was 5. Told me she'd be back in a month, just didn't say what month. You know, it's not like she's a bad person. She's not a bad person, it's just that, you know, she does 2 things really well. She lies, and then she tells lies to cover her lies. Now, I'm not kidding, if she pooped out of her mouth, she'd be wiping all day. One day I'm leaving the hospital, but we have to see my grandfather. And we get to the car, we get to the first light. It's a really bad neighborhood. We shouldn't have been there. We get to the first light that turns red. A pregnant lady and her gangster-looking boyfriend start crossing the street. They get right in front of my car. The light turns green. We're not going anywhere. I look over at my mom. Her lips, her eyes are a little squinted. Her lips curled up, and I'm thinking, holy shit, Mom, don't do it. Bang! She rolls down the window, hangs her head out the window, yells over at the pregnant lady and says in her best old lady voice, "You know, honey, you can get knocked down just as fast as you got knocked up." Stuff like that every time you get in the car with her. You age 1 month every time you're in the car with that woman. I'm 35 years old. And I'm going to bring up, Ryan, you ready?
Yeah.
Bring up Ryan Hill. Ryan Hill's an excellent comedian, very experienced. That's his turn. Oh, by the way, Ryan taught me to do what I'm doing here today. So if you don't like it, Facebook him.
Thank you very much, Al. Okay, when he tells people I talk in this. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for coming out. It's obviously very awesome that you guys are here supporting a good cause. It's very nice to be in this art gallery room with the door open and the traffic outside. I'm just trying to get, okay, so there's a lot of people at the bar waiting for drinks. All right, good. So my name's Ryan. I'm not from around here. Oh, I live here now, but I grew up in the Poconos, where I had 2 very Pocono-y kind of jobs. All right, one was awesome, one sucked real bad. The one that sucked real bad is I had to work at a McDonald's, but it wasn't like a regular McDonald's, like a neighborhood McDonald's. I worked at a Turnpike McDonald's. Which, it's funny, people are like, come on, I worked at a regular McDonald's, it's fine. Like, no. Turnpike McDonald's is different. Regular McDonald's, you have like regulars, you know? People with families. At the Turnpike McDonald's, my regulars had killed their families. And we're driving up and down the northeast extension of the Turnpike, depositing the bodies. Part of Grandma in Scranton, a little bit of Aunt Mary in the Pocono Exchange. She really loved the summer there. Can I have a Big Mac, please? Like at a neighborhood McDonald's, you got like a play place with a ball pit. At the Turnpike McDonald's, I had truckers with their balls out. That's terrible. I had something happen to me at that McDonald's that made me believe that if God may not be real, but Satan definitely is real. Like that's what I walked away from this experience like, yeah, Satan exists. I had a woman come up to my register. She ordered a quarter pounder value meal. She added to it an apple pie and a milkshake. I hit the total button and said, "Ma'am, your total is $6.66. And she just goes cold. It's as if I had just said, ma'am, your total is 1 child. Pay me a child. Right now. No, she just, her face drops. And she's like, I can't pay that. I'm like, okay. Should I take off the apple pie or the milkshake? And now she starts to really freak the fuck out. She's like, no, I don't know. She's clutching a cross on her necklace, trying to decide between Jesus and trans fats. So finally I say, I can supersize it. And the look of relief that comes over this woman's face. It's as if I said, I have cured your child. All things. So I walked away from that thinking, yeah, Satan exists. Because only Satan would create a number, an arbitrary number that when seen would make you order more McDonald's. The job that I had that I actually loved, but I was bad at it. I loved my other job. I was terrible at it. I was a paintball judge at Skirmish USA. How many of you have ever played paintball? Anybody ever played paintball? The thing is, I thought when going into this job at the tender age of 16, all I needed to know how to do was to blow a whistle and tell time. And that, you do need to know those two things. They're important. You also need to know how to play along with the illusion that these fuckers are at war. Like, when you're back at your base and some meathead goes, Alpha team, I want you to attack through the jungle. You can't be the guy who's like, those are rhododendron bushes. Dude, why don't you just say you're going to attack through the rhododendron bushes? Beta team, I want you to entrench in the river. That's like a stream at best. Like I wouldn't even call that a brook, actually. There was like a guy in your river like a couple days ago recording it for Nature CDs. So why don't you chill the fuck out there, jockey? I had like 3 weeks into the job, I had a veteran paintball judge pull me aside, and those are 3 very depressing words when put together. He pulled me aside and was like, Ryan, come on, man. You've got to like go along with these guys, right? Be their war guide, man. Be their war guide. Okay. All right, Smokey. His name was Smokey, of course. And I was like, dude, I'll be their war guide, sure. It's almost 1 o'clock. It's time for their mandatory war lunch break. Well, they get a hamburger and a Sprite per the rules of the Geneva Convention. What the fuck is wrong with you? These people played paintball as if there was like an army general watching who was just going to come out and feel like, men, really love what you're doing there. Here's the thing, I think this can work out. We do have rules that prevent you from going into battle with cans of Coors Light strapped to you, but Afghanistan, now, come on, let's go. A grown man running through the woods, yelling, with a paintball gun, yelling, "This is war." It's like a grown man jerking off and saying, "This is sex. This is sex, oh my God." No. The real thing, so much more intense, buddy, all right? With war and sex, one ill-timed shot, you could put something in someone that'll fuck up their lives forever. Masturbation and paintball, take as many shots as you want, you're not going to do any damage. Worst case scenario, you take out an eye. That's about it. And really, your buddy should have had his goggles on. How many of you guys live here in Easton? How many of you guys are from here in Easton? Dude, I really like Easton. I like Easton a lot. I live in Bethlehem, but I actually really, this place is doing really, I like it. Every year they read the Constitution on the center circle, right? Yep. Right? And every night they read someone the Miranda rights. Is that how it goes? It's a cheesy fucking joke. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Did you just say they just shoot them? Dude, wrong time. Wrong time for that joke. I didn't go, well, audience guy can go there. Guy in the talking. I noticed Glenn dressed down for this show a little bit. I dressed up, which I know that kind of means you have to know that Glenn usually likes to come into shows dressed very nicely in a suit, whereas I usually dress like a frat guy on the way to the dining hall, nursing a hangover at 11 a.m. Just flip-flops and shorts, bruh. That's what I'm bringing to the eggs. It was weird. I was raised up in Jim Thorpe, which, that's a place you guys understand that bought a dead man, right? You guys do understand that?
Yeah.
That place purchased a man who has no business being there. That'd be like, you gotta understand, Jim Thorpe, legendary athlete, he dies, some podunk ass town he's never been to is like, dibs. And they're like, hey, this hasn't happened before, I guess they have dibs. That'd be like Larry Holmes dying and Boise, Idaho calling up and saying, dibs. I guess we gotta ship Larry to Boise. It's now gonna be Larry Holmes, Idaho. That's cool. Yet, 11 elderly couples a year go to visit Jim Thorpe's grave, so it fucking stays there. And I feed the McDonald's. That's basically it. Fucking hate that place. Okay. I want to tell you guys a little story. This is a kind of a cautionary tale. First off, thanks for being such a great audience. You guys are a very, very cool audience. I very much appreciate this. So here's my little story. It's a cautionary tale. It's all about how, the lesson of this I want you to take from it is sometimes serial killers are the better option. Okay? Here's my story. My girlfriend and I were moving in together, and she needed to get rid of a condo she owned. She owned a condo. And so she needed to sell it, but we weren't, the market was very slow. So we need to put renters in there, so immediately we go on Craigslist, put up the ad, and we get an immediate response, which is awesome. The very first couple that comes to see it, it's this beautiful young couple. Beautiful, like in their like mid-20s, just they're cut, they're a beautiful couple, and they really want the apartment. Which, I know I spent a lot of time on them being beautiful. The more important thing is that they wanted the apartment, but for me that day, much to my girlfriend's annoyance, it was really about how hot that girl was. However, they said, we've got $1,000 we want to give you right now as a deposit on this apartment. And this is where we had to be like, okay, that's cool. The thing is, this is part of a co-op. You guys are going to have to go through a credit check and a background check. Well, this time she warns us that the credit check might come back bad.